Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about the Instagram algorithm. So Instagram isn't just a pretty picture sharing app anymore. It's so much more than that. It's actually a bit of a content jungle, if I'm being completely honest. And if you don't know how to play the algorithm's game, any of your content, whether it's reels, grid posts, carousels, will just vanish into the void. So here's the hard truth. Instagram, a bit like Facebook, decides what gets shown based on engagement, consistency, and the content type. So we're going to talk about how Instagram decides who's going to see your posts, why some posts go viral while others just flop, the best way to use each content format, such as reels, stories, lives, carousels, grid posts, etc. So let's first talk about how the Instagram algorithm actually works. Instagram's algorithm basically watches everything you do. It's actually extremely nosy, and it ranks your content based on engagement. So the more likes, comments, shares, the more reach you're going to get. Watch time, the longer someone interacts with video content, the better. Relationships, people who DM you or comment often. This is basically like your VIPs. And consistency. So you need to post regularly or Instagram will just forget that you exist. Now let's talk about what kills your reach. So this is things like low engagement, aka posting and just praying it's going to get to where it needs to get to, ghosting your audience for weeks, using banned hashtags, yes, that's a thing, and posting only salesy content because people absolutely hate that. So the big takeaway here is if Instagram thinks that your content is valuable and engaging, it will absolutely show it to more people. And that, my friends, is simply how the algorithm works. Now, let's talk about the Instagram content breakdown, because I feel like sometimes we are overwhelmed by the amount of different content types that Instagram has to offer. It probably has the largest selection, right? But not all content types work in the same way. So here's how each format will impact your engagement and your reach. Okay, so the very first thing is Reels. You guys have probably heard trending Reels, went viral on Reels. Well, the reason why this happens, and if you didn't know, Reels basically means short videos, but the reason why this happens is because Reels are designed to get new people into your profile. It's the biggest reach booster that you can have. So Reels are shown to new audiences, not just the followers that already exist on your profile. Instagram also pushes Reels very hard because it wants to compete with TikTok. The more that people watch your Reels to the very end, the more Instagram will boost that Reel. And the best strategy to use here for Reels is really using hooks in the first 3 seconds. And yes, I'm going to say it, using trending sounds and audio. And let's talk about grid posts. So these are single images that don't move. There's no carousels involved here. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. But these are great for nurturing the followers that you already have. Now, they're not great for reach, I'm not going to lie to you, but they are good to keep your feed looking cohesive. They're best for educational, aesthetic, or meme style posts. And the best strategy for grid posts is to keep captions short and ask a question within the caption as well. And make sure to keep it branded too, because that's really important. All right, and let's talk about carousels. So carousels are basically where you whack more than one grid post into one grid post, and then it becomes a nice little swipeable thing. So these are best for saves and shares. And the great thing about carousels, obviously, as you can imagine, as you are scrolling across, it encourages people to stay on your post longer, which means, hey, that's a signal to Instagram to give you more reach. The great thing about carousels as well is that Instagram will actually re-show them if people don't swipe the first time, which is extremely useful. The best strategy for carousels is to start with a bold first slide, a really bold, enticing hook, and teach them something valuable. And let's talk about Instagram Live. So these are great for building deep connection and also getting your authority out there. Instagram prioritizes lives whilst you're broadcasting, whilst you're actually live. So I go live every single Monday on Instagram and in the Facebook group. And what you might notice if you follow me, and by the way, if you don't already follow me, you probably should, because if you think this is valuable, I put even more value on my Instagram, because as we know, engagement gets you more reach. So if you are following me, you probably would have seen that I am right at the top, right at the beginning of all of your stories with a big pink ring that says live. And that's basically what happens whilst you're broadcasting. You also get higher engagements after you finished your live because Instagram will actually recommend the live replay. The best strategy here is to go live at peak times and actually answer audience questions. Okay, now let's talk about broadcast channels. Now, you might not know what a broadcast channel is. It's new and it's underused, and it's a huge opportunity. If you are not using broadcast channels, it's basically like you are private chatting to multiple people who are in your audience, right? And you can have a back and forth. You can actually set broadcast channels up to be a little bit like WhatsApp or Telegram, where you have the back and forth, or it can just be you kind of broadcasting messages and voice notes and videos and things out. You can even go live in broadcast channels as well. But the way that many people will set this up is it's basically like a one-way group chat where you send updates, you can put polls, you can put all sorts of things in there. Instagram will notify your audience when you post, and the best way to use a broadcast channel is using it for exclusive tips, sneak peeks, and launches and product drops. So you've probably listened to all that and you're thinking, okay, which one should I focus on? Well, the best way to do this is to focus on a mix, okay? I would probably choose at least 2 to 3 if you can, and test those out and see how you feel. So now let's talk about the biggest mistakes that are going to absolutely kill your Instagram reach. So if you're finding that your growth on Instagram, whether that be your engagement, your followers, is just so incredibly slow, you're probably making one of these 5 mistakes. Mistake number 1 is only posting product photos. Your audience wants value, not just a catalog or a ready reckoner of all the products and all the stuff that's already kind of listed on your website. They don't want a website duplication. They just want to see value. Mistake number 2 is ignoring comments and DMs. Engagement is a two-way street, like I always say. So you want to make sure to actually respond back. It is called social media after all. Mistake number 3 is being inconsistent. So you're posting and then just disappearing. Instagram rewards consistency at the end of the day. Mistake number 4 is not using all content formats, right? So my favorite combo are stories, reels, and carousels. And those 3 things to me are a winning combo. Mistake number 5 is forgetting calls to actions, forgetting to tell people what the next action is, what the next step is that you want them to take. Now, this can be in captions, it can be in carousels, it can be in reels, it can be in stories, it can be in lives. You always need some kind of call to action. So if you fix these 5 things, your reach should improve fast. Now let's talk about the best Instagram posting strategy. So let's talk about how often should you post. So reels should be 3 to 5 times per week because that is going to be the biggest reach booster. Stories should be daily. That's 1 to 3 per day. Grid posts should be 2 to 3 per week. And like I've said, these are great to nurture your existing audience. Carousels should be 1 to 2 per week. Again, these are great for shares and saves. Lives should be 1 to 2 per month. And this is a great way to engage with your audience deeper. And your broadcast channel update should be at least 1 to 2 per week. I want you to stay connected with them. And a top tip here is repurpose. Oh my goodness. Don't think you have to create individual content types for each of these things. No, you repurpose. Turn reels into stories, carousels into reels, transcriptions from reels into broadcast channel notes. Like, you don't have to create different content types for each of these things. Okay, now let's talk about how to get more people actually engaging with your posts. Number 1 is ask a question in every caption. Get them commenting, get them talking. Number 2 is one of my favorite ones, which is use Instagram polls and stickers and engagement stickers, whatever that is, in stories, because it's so easy to just tap and engage with it. Please, 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 every story you post, put some kind of engagement thing on there. Number 3 is respond to every comment and every single DM. This tells Instagram that people care about your content. Number 4 is start a broadcast channel. It's underused, underutilized, and it's a new thing. Number 5, yes, I'm going to say it. Use trending audio on Reels because Instagram prioritizes trending music and trending sounds. So now let's talk about how to get Instagram to show your content to more people for free without spending money on ads. So the first thing is to keep people on your post longer. So if you remember I said about carousels, the fact that each time you're swiping, it's keeping people on your post for longer. You also want captions that hook them too, that make them want to read and also engage too. You want to get people to DM you. Instagram loves conversations in DMs. The third thing is that you want to encourage shares and saves. And the more saves you get, the more Instagram pushes it to more people. You also want to post at peak times. And if you go into your insights, you will see when your audience is most active. And the last thing is to engage before and after posting. So respond to DMs, comment on other people's posts. If you are engaging before you post, and after, it's going to create a nice little engagement sandwich that's really going to make sure that Instagram is going to prioritize the new content you are about to post or what you already have posted. The bottom line here is if Instagram sees your content as valuable, it will show it to more people. So my final tips and your action plan is I want you to post consistently because Instagram does reward regular activity. I want you to use reels, stories, and carousels. I want you to engage with comments and DMs, actually build relationships. And I also want you to track your insights as well because you want to be doing less of what doesn't work. So my final thought is the algorithm isn't against you. It just rewards good content that people are giving all the signals to tell Instagram that it likes what you have to say and it wants to see more stuff like that. So guys, I really, really hope you enjoyed this, depending on where you are watching or listening to this. Don't forget to subscribe or follow, again, depending on where you are consuming this, and I will see you at the same time next week.